You got it. It's your last round. You got it. Oh, we almost went down, darling. Good job. Come on. Come on, you're already at the bar at this time. Come on. Get 2 more. 1 more. Come on. There you go. Remember what you said to me? You said that I can't be the only one to feel that misery.
Today we're going to talk about 10 things that CrossFit has taught us. And we're going to start off with number 10, which is...
What you did in high school doesn't count.
A lot of times we run into people that we know, or even older people, and they're just like, oh, that's cool, man, that you work out and that you do this and that you do that.
In high school, I could do this.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, when I was in high school, I could bench 400 pounds, which was probably a lie in the first place. Or, my mile time, I used to be able to run a mile in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. But it doesn't really matter.
If you can't do that now.
What you did 15 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If you're not able to do it now, you are actually regressing. You're unfit, you're unhealthy, and essentially, you're making yourself sick.
Yeah.
Leading to chronic disease because you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Like back problems, knee problems, gout,
That kind of thing.
Don't always rely on the scale. I feel like especially for females, that's a huge one, right? Like, because we're very focused on our weight or how much we weigh and everything else, and you can't do that. Like, for instance, like 130 pounds skinny does not look the same as 130 pounds fit and muscular. You know what I mean? Like, there's a very big difference, so you can't always rely on the scale because you could be making huge progress and big transformations without even realizing it because you're fixated on a number on the scale. Whenever I first started, I've been doing CrossFit solid for about a year now. No, over a year now, huh? Mm-hmm. Like, actually, like, serious about it. And whenever I first started, Nico told me, don't rely on the scale. Don't do anything like that. And that was a really big battle for myself. Mm-hmm. And then I started taking pictures. Yeah, like, pictures and videos really are what I compare myself to now. I was just talking to him earlier this evening. I haven't stepped on a scale in months. And I don't care to anymore.
I think taking pictures is a good thing, but I think one thing that you have to be careful for whenever you do that is you're not doing it constantly. It's like a once a week thing.
Or once a month.
See, because it's no different than going into, your whatever local gym you have. We have a Define Fitness here, or Anytime Fitness, something like that. It's no different than walking in there and looking in the mirror every day, and you've been going, say, for 6 weeks straight.
And you're like, man, I don't see any difference.
And you've probably been pushing it, and you're probably actually losing weight and probably even getting some muscle definition, but it doesn't look like it because you're always looking in that mirror.
Scale is a monster. Don't listen to it.
You have more in the tank than what you think. Come on! Whenever you start CrossFit and you do your first workout, it's
awful.
It's absolutely awful.
It makes you feel like trash.
I've been doing this for 3 years. It just takes a lot of practice, a lot of mental capacity to say, hey, that my body is capable of so much more.
So I've had kids, right? I've had 2 kids. And I guess I kind of understand that you have more in the tank than what you think. But I guess this was more I guess I didn't realize how hard I could push myself until recently. Like the first time I got sick in a workout, I was like, oh,
And that was during
nope.
Was that? It was like 3 rounds, but every like it was supposed
no,
to be.
it was a partner one.
It was a partner one,
yeah.
but it was supposed to be for teams of 3.
Yeah.
And we did it teams of 2. And every round there was like 100 calories of assault bike.
Yeah, and so, but like I went, puked my guts out, and I was like, let's finish this. And I like ran back out there, and I was like, I never pictured myself as being somebody that could puke and then still finish a workout in the time allotted. So.
And some people can't. We're not saying that you have
yeah,
to.
no,
I'm not a puker. There's times that I have.
I gotten kind of sick.
Kind of like a little
like
bit
woozy,
but some people are just pukers. I got a handful of friends. They've been doing this for years. They are still pukers. Mentally and physically, you can always push yourself more than what you can think. Your body's capable. Your mind is capable.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. You just have to put in the.
You just have to want to.
You just have to want to. Exactly.
Like even though like it's miserable, you're like.
And that's the great thing about
finish.
that's the great thing about CrossFit, because if you were gonna do it by yourself, you would not push yourself like that.
No, definitely not. But I didn't start pushing myself hard until.
Started doing group classes?
No, I wasn't even pushing myself that hard in group classes. It was whenever we moved back here. And I really started pushing myself because I started really working out with you.
Whenever I would work out by myself at a local gym or, in high school or whatever, just with a couple of buddies, I would never push myself to make myself better. But once you get around a whole lot of other like-minded athletes, I can't stop.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't stop, it's that you don't want to stop because you don't want to be the guy that quit.
Yeah.
But in turn, it makes you a better athlete, much better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare yourself to other athletes.
You cannot compare yourself to other people, especially people that have been doing it for years. And this is something I struggle with constantly, is comparing myself to other athletes.
More than most, I started getting a little better hold of it than what most people do when they
He's
first
an
start.
Overachiever.
I didn't over. I
He's
didn't
an overachiever.
I didn't overachieve. I think I'm slightly above that. But I was always like, hey, I got to be faster than him, or I got to move more weight than him. And instead of focusing on some of the basics, I look at some of the videos. If you guys go to my Instagram, I have a power clean and jerk video that I was very, very proud of when I posted it. And I look at the ones I post now, and I look at that one back then, and I'm like, that was ugly.
You know it's
like when I pulled the bar off the ground, my legs were starting to cave in. I was like, power clean, muscle cleaned it. My jerk was horrible. I missed the jerk. But it's just because I wanted to move big weights like everybody else, and I didn't want to take the time to actually
get the movement down. Mechanics. Yeah.
The mechanics down very good, and it actually probably set me back. I'd probably be a lot farther ahead now if I would have done it right the first time.
Touch a little bit more on what you talked about, like wanting to move big weights and everything. Like even now, still, I'm just like, damn it! Like I'm still only split jerking 95 pounds, But it's just. It's going to take time, and I would rather have perfect form and good form and have all of my movements be solid. That way, whenever I am ready to start making those lifts with the heavier weight, I'm not going to jack myself up, and I'm not going to look like a cat throwing up either. So. That's what it reminds me of, is like a cat throwing up.
It reminds me of like the dog pooping thing. It's just like this and like, good job. 70 to 80% of getting lean
is your
diet. I've been very bad at this. I'm much better at it now, is what I should say. I realized what I was doing was wrong, that I needed to watch my calorie intake and...
caloric deficit.
If you want to lose weight, you have to have a caloric deficit. It's that simple. You can't overeat. You can't eat junk food all the time and think you're going to get away with it either.
And don't think that if you're making a protein shake, you need like fruit, peanut butter, like almond milk. No.
Not saying that you can't do those things, right? But if you are going to do those things, weigh and measure it. That way you know how much you're taking in. Because your body absolutely does need all the micronutrients and fiber and everything else, all the benefits that come from eating whole foods.
Getting better takes time, bruh.
You can't walk into the gym, expect to do what other people are doing, or even like your old PRs.
Yeah,
right?
or like if you've taken a significant amount of time away from the gym, like
Exactly.
don't expect being able to like jump right back into it and do what you did before.
You can't take significant time off and
expect to be back to where you were.
just take something very simple. Say that your 1 rep max 5 years ago was on a bench press was 225 pounds. You have not worked out in 5 years. You've just been working. You know, you've retained obviously some of that strength, but you couldn't go back into the gym and just be like, I'm gonna put up 225. Some people, they're just freaks and they can do that. But
do it. You're gonna blow
the majority of people, they can't do that. So
like I would say like a significant amount of time was like a year.
I would say like 6 months.
6 months. Yeah, even 6 months.
6 months is a long
Like,
time.
there's-
Like you tell an athlete, you tell an NFL athlete, you tell an NBA athlete or somebody like that, hey man, you know, you just did this, you can't do anything for 6 months. Like they're freaking out. you
Yeah,
know?
like right now my deadlift is at 255, and if I were to take 6 months off, there's no way I could go back and pull 255. There's no way. I'm gonna hurt myself.
Now on the flip side of that too, it is okay to take a little bit of time off for certain
Yeah.
reasons. If you have an injury, it's very important to take a little bit of time off. Doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot go. Just certain exercises you might not be able to do because of your inability to do it. Number two, sometimes your body just needs a break.
It's okay to take breaks.
Let your body rest sometimes, and also don't compare yourself to your old PRs, especially if you've taken significant time off, and also don't compare to your, like the freaks in your gym that you're not on their level yet because they may have been doing
it for
it
years.
They may have been doing it for 3, 4, 5+ years.